Hi, and welcome to Hope Rising Podcast. I am so excited that you are here with us today. We have a very special podcast lined up for today, and joining me is the Vice President of Solomon's Porch Ministry, and we are here to celebrate and to talk about 1 year of being an official nonprofit. So exciting. Want to thank you for sharing this journey with me, with us. You've been a part of it for almost the beginning of it, and I love that. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this. It kind of came out of nowhere, but your vision was so clear and your leadership has been amazing. And here we are a year later.
Yeah, well, it's easy to lead when you have people who are so energetic and so willing and so generous. It makes my job really easy. So, we want to tell you, the viewers, where we started, where we're at now, and where we're headed. So, Wanda, let's go back to the beginning. Whoa, what a difference between then and now.
Yeah.
Tell me about what your thoughts are on the beginning.
Yeah. So you had already had some things established, but we were still very much in the beginning stages when I joined. Um, and we were doing a whole lot with a tiny bits,
Yeah, we were.
working out of our cars, a couple of pop-up tables. I don't think we ever actually knew how many tables we would have once we got there. It was just bring what you have and what you can get your hands on.
Yeah.
Um, and just to think about how we were all just giving whatever we could and making that work, and to see where we are today is just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a stats person. I love it. Kind of brings out the nerdy side in me, but I love it. And we had 9 people serving, about 40 people, and the food was still homemade. The vision was still there of homemade. And I remember one of our men, someone needed a shirt. He went to his, I think it was a Tahoe, opened it up, shuffled around until he found a T-shirt that he wasn't wearing and handed it to him.
Yeah.
And it is that heart that has just continued. Now, from the original 9 people, we have 2 of the founding men still with us, and I'm so thrilled that we do have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I came on board, um, I was responsible for the clothing. And essentially, all the clothing was in the trunk and the back seat of my car. And it was just, donations was just a matter of sending out some text messages, meeting some folks after service at church. And as much as I could get into that vehicle is what went out on a little pop-up clothing rack.
Yeah. Which got blown over
Which got
several
blown
times.
over. We had to zip tie it to the fence,
Yeah.
put books on it to keep it from falling over. Yeah, we've come a really long way.
Yeah. When you sit back and think, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow. So, of course, we graduated a little bit from that.
Mhm.
We moved. We stayed in the same location for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But we graduated from just a couple of tents to about 30 volunteers. And of course, the number of people we helped increased. And we went to first of all, we went to one 10 by 20 tent to provide shade for our volunteers and for the people we were serving. And the whole idea was to be able to sit with them. And I remember that day that I was like, we've got to get more tables, not necessarily for us, but for them, because they would get their meals and they would go and sit on the curb or sit in the grass or sit in the dirt. And it was just like, there's a bigger vision than this. We want them to feel loved and to be seen, not just to receive. And so that's when we got our tables for them to sit at.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know if you know the story about that, but I found some tables on Facebook Marketplace. And when I showed up, it was actually a church, and they had these tables in their storage building for 5 years. And I was thinking to myself, isn't God great? 5 years before that we had the need, it was already met.
Yeah.
And then when I told him what we were doing, he threw in close to 30 chairs on top of that at no extra cost.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And isn't that like the baseline of what has happened with this ministry?
It really has. When you think about all of the things, you really see God's provision in all of it. You
Yeah.
know, we would talk about something or feel just moved to want to serve in a particular way, and then out of nowhere, you know, what we needed was available to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To think of one of the two founding men that you mentioned, one was Bruce, and Bruce would serve the drinks out of the bed of his truck,
Yeah.
you know, because we didn't have table space. And you think of where we are now, we've got multiple tables to shield our food and our service line from the weather. We've had days out there where it was raining,
Yeah.
completely windy, debris blowing all about, and we've got protection from that. We
Yeah.
didn't know where those funds were coming from.
No, we didn't.
No idea at all.
Well, you forgot to mention serving in the snow.
Well, yeah,
How could you forget that? Oh my goodness. Yes. That was that shows the level of dedication that the volunteers who serve with us has.
Yeah.
Because you can't lead that. That's inside every person who's serving. And that's what makes this ministry so beautiful. So we became a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And July 28th, 2025, that was the official date that all the paperwork was turned in. And we got the little certificate and everything. And that just a couple months after that, sorry, a few months before that, we became a small group at North Church, which is where we attend church. And the number of volunteers just started, when people started hearing about it, it just went up. We were at, what, about 50, 55? You want to tell them what we're at now?
We're in the 90s now.
We are.
Yes, we're in the 90s now. A few weeks ago, Katrina got the opportunity to tell the entire congregation more about what we're doing. And so many people were reached and touched and signed up from there.
Absolutely.
And it's just one of the ways that we're growing.
Yes. And we've had the privilege to start this podcast.
Yeah.
When we started, this wasn't, I don't even think I thought about a podcast at the beginning. And here it is now. And we get to talk with all the volunteers who are willing to come in and share their heart about serving. And that's beautiful because we get to see and get to know them and what their why is behind serving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've learned so much that we never would have known. In some of the one of the earlier episodes, I know you talked with someone who found a family member
Yeah.
that they hadn't seen in a while. And then
Years.
to hear about some of the conversations that are happening on service days, those are stories of real people that we're helping and real people who are coming close to God. They're seeing the example of God's hands and feet and the heart of his people. And that's what's happening out there. In our podcast, we intend to bring those stories to all of our listeners so that you can see and also to give you an opportunity to be part of this as well.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that's always been on my heart is connection.
Mhm.
And not only do we have our serving tables, we have tables out there for them to sit out so we can go and sit with them and talk to them. This is not something that we have rushed. We have not, we don't hurry people along. We want them to feel like they can take their time, that they're just not another hands for the plate.
Right.
And I know you do that. You're over the Clothes Mobile,
Mhm.
which for those who don't know, we found an RV again on Facebook Marketplace and gutted it and turned it into a mobile clothes um, mobile, and we call it that.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's such a cute name. I can't wait to get it painted and do something fun with it.
Mhm.
But that's low on the list.
Yeah.
Um, but you take your time. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah. So that's really close, is near and dear to my heart. Um, we've got it all set up now. We have a men's section, a women's section, a section for bedding and pillows and shoes. And we've created a flow where we can invite our guest in, help them put together clothes that will fit them and clothes that they like, give them options and choices, which is a big thing for us in every part of what we
Yes.
do, giving them some choices. And we send them on with some things that can make a difference for them in their lives, to keep them
Yeah.
warm, to keep them comfortable, clothes that help them to have dignity that they desire.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember one time we were almost ready to, we were packing up, and this guy showed up. He was an elderly man, and he was in hospital
Yes.
gown. It was one of our colder days.
Yeah.
It wasn't snowing on
Yeah.
us, but it was at least in the 50s, if not the 40s.
Mhm.
He had no shoes and just a hospital gown. And you could tell he had a mental illness.
Mhm.
And so we just started grabbing clothes we thought would fit, and we started dressing him
Yeah.
pretty much you would like a young child who needed help. And I just love that. I haven't seen him again, but
Mhm.
he made an impact on my heart and on
Yeah.
my life.
Mine as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that compassion.
Yeah.
And we've started something else as well. You know, we've started bringing the scripture. We've been bringing the word out to um, for the people to hear. And you know, it's not our job to be concerned about the results. Our job is to present the word and let them respond. And I remember one time after I preached there, and this lady came up and she just wrapped me up in a hug, and she wasn't even talking. She was just crying.
Mm.
And I don't know what that meant, but I know Jesus knows what that
Yeah.
meant. And yeah, so we went from where we were at the beginning to where we're at now.
Mhm.
What else can we talk about our now?
Mm. Well, our food has always been amazing. Relisha and Tony
Mhm.
McKinnon
Mhm.
have they've put their heart and soul into everything since we started.
Yes.
And it just keeps getting better.
Yes.
It keeps getting better. The creativity there, the options that we talked about, we have vegetarian options. It's
Mhm.
done with such love that you can't
Mhm.
deny it. It's
Right.
undeniable.
And they've grown their
Yeah,
team to
absolutely.
Giovanni.
Mhm.
Giovanni and his wife. Um, they're new to Edmond area. They're new to North Church. They saw the small group and says, "Whoa, I want to sign up." Then he told me he's already making meals for the people in his neighborhood. So I said, "I need to connect you to Rolisha." And so now there's a special treat for July serving, or this month's
Oh,
serving.
wow.
The treat is that Giovanni and Tony are doing the meal.
Okay.
Rolisha has a commitment she couldn't get out of, a work commitment, and they're going to be grilling on site. I love that.
And mentioning grilling,
Mhm.
we got a grill in the
That's
process.
right.
Yeah.
That was donated
Yeah.
to us by a company that wasn't
Mhm.
using it. And it is one of those big grills
Yeah.
with two propane bottles. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the partnerships that you've established. So when we initially started, we were in a parking lot. Um, that was we were allowed. There was a
We had
partnership there as
permission.
well. We had
Hmm.
permission to be there in the parking lot, and it worked really well. We were
Yeah.
visible right from the street. Everyone knew we were there, and we were able to set up a flow so we could serve, all of our guests without a problem, to include
Hmm.
putting the tables up and all of that good stuff. But we really
Yeah.
didn't have any type of shelter. Um, we didn't have entry control, if you will. But now that's all changed. You
It
want to tell us
has.
about that?
Well, first of all, the first parking lot was actually on an incline too,
Mm.
so we got to battle all of that. And curb parking, which sometimes caused a problem because the buses came through. So it was great for what we were doing, but as we grew, we realized we needed something more.
Mhm.
And so we were able to partner with Homeless Alliance. And once a month after they serve breakfast, their kitchen staff can have the rest of the day off because they know we are coming, and they have allowed us to set up in their staff parking lot. It's fenced, and there's this massive tree that right now I don't think we've set up the tents in
Mm-mm.
like 3 months.
Yeah.
And that just helps with the labor of not doing it because we set up both the serving and for the people that we serve underneath that shade tree, and it is just
Yeah,
amazing.
it's so good.
Yes, and I love that partnership we're developing with them, and I can't wait to see how much more we can do with
Yeah,
them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many other benefits as well. We have, well, a trash dumpster right there, so we
Yes.
can leave it better than we found it each time.
Yes.
And then we also have space inside the building for
That's
our barbers.
that's right.
So our barbers are inside, um, protected from the elements, and they're able to have one-on-one engagements in a quiet space, to
Yes.
really have, um, just to really have conversations with their
Hmm.
clients, really.
Yes, this last time in June, we had three show up, and one of them had his daughter, I think she's like 13, and she was actually practicing giving haircuts with her dad
Yeah.
watching. And one of the things we love at Solomon's Porch is when families serve together.
Yeah.
That warms my heart, whether it be a husband and a wife, or a father, a daughter, a grandmother, an aunt, as one of our families
Mhm.
did. I just love that. You and your son and your
Mhm.
husband,
Yeah.
I love it when families serve together.
Yeah.
That is just so important. And one of the questions we get a lot is, do you allow children to serve with you? Well, the short answer is yes. And the longer answer is we do make the parent aware, parent or guardian aware of what could be seen. And if they're okay with that, then they're able to bring their children. But all of the adults, I promise you, all of us are keeping an eye out on those children, the
Mhm.
minors that are out there, even the teenagers,
Yeah.
just to make sure everything's okay because we want everybody safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our vision going forward.
Yeah.
Should we share all of it?
We should give
Probably
them a
not.
good taste. Let's give them a good taste.
Okay. Well, when we started this nonprofit, it was not just about the monthly serving, although that's a big part of it. It was about connections. And we want to move into housing and transportation. And the housing, it doesn't stop with just getting somebody into a house or an apartment. It's connecting them with others who can come along with them and mentor them and disciple them and be their friends. Some of them really just need a friend. And what better way to be Jesus to them than to be a friend to them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
And I know one of the ways that we want to be able to help is to, when we see someone who is in need, maybe not necessarily homeless, but maybe in a
at
very
risk.
vulnerable position at risk, that we will be able to connect them with resources to prevent them from actually getting all the way onto the street.
Yes,
And some of the partnerships that you've made are paving the way for those connections. So,
yes. The Homeless Alliance has already mentioned that if we could build the housing, they have the people to fill it.
mm,
And when we talk about putting people into homes, God laid it on my heart to reach out to the elderly and our veterans first. And then when we are able to give them what they need to be able to move on to other demographics.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and I love that. But we can't do this without our generous donors. I mean, we had to go out and purchase a building
mhm,
just to put our clothes in there
yeah.
so we would have a place to store them. And it's all because of generous donors. Um, would you like to talk about more about our
Yeah.
donations and our giving?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started pretty recently in the month of March. We started a campaign that's called 100 Hands for Hope in 100 Days. So it it ran from the 23rd of March to the 30th of June, but it continues. We're still going to have the Hands uh,
Hands of
for
Hope.
Hands of Hope
Yeah.
that continues to be a funding source or a fundraising source. But we used that initial campaign to find founding donors and to raise money to help us have our baseline support for our operation. So we've learned a lot in the last, well, 2 years total and 1 year of being a 501c3, and we've been able to identify exactly what our monthly budget is. So
Hmm.
the idea behind the 100-day campaign was to establish funding to support us, where we can put money away for up to a year, um, to make sure that we can always serve every month
Right.
without having to worry about where the money's coming from. The long-term uh, donation or fundraising, we are really focusing on those donors who can contribute monthly and that will commit to just a prayerful donation. For instance, we have 90 plus volunteers now,
Yes.
and a number like 90, it's big in some ways and small in others. But even if we had $10 a month donations from 90 people, it
Yes.
would really satisfy our need to keep our operations
Hmm.
going for the foreseeable future. So
Absolutely.
every dollar counts, and the way to contribute would be to visit our webpage at solomonsporchministryokc.com, and you'll find a link there that you can donate. And every penny is going to the Solomon's Porch Ministry mission. We don't have any paid employees. We have very little overhead, but everything is a direct support for our
Right.
mission.
The overhead that typical ministries like ours would have would include like a building or gas or vehicles.
Mhm.
But this ministry, we don't have a local central place right now. But we have two trucks that we use. We have two trailers that we use, and the volunteers pay for their own gas. And we don't ask them to. This is
Mhm.
something that's in their heart that they want to do. So to just piggyback off of what Wanda said, that if you're listening to this and you want to know how to get involved and you're probably if you're unable to physically go with us or to join, if you could consider $10 a month, we would appreciate it. It goes further than what you think
Yeah.
because of our low overhead, and we are very conscious of where we spend that money, and it is a board decision, not a one person decision. And there have been times that the board has been voted no on certain things, and it's respected, and we carry on.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but this is my first time being a part of a nonprofit, so there's been a lot of learning curves.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited, and I couldn't have done this without you. You have done so much for this ministry, and the knowledge and the wealth of knowledge that you bring just has helped us transition to a smoother operating system. So thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. We have a fantastic board. Like I said, with your leadership, making sure that all the parts and pieces are covered and that we're thinking about all the things, and finding some really good board members from the
Yeah.
beginning. Beth Burney
Yes.
served as our treasurer when we started, and now we have Don Imhoff, who is our treasurer now, but he also served as our secretary for a while.
Right.
We have interviews getting ready to start to fill vacant positions. And just, God has really been in this. And
Yes.
I know that you've prayerfully considered everyone that you've asked to step up. And that's why we've been able to be at this successfully for a year and for many years to come.
Yeah, all glory goes to God, because when I think and when I look at what he's done from the beginning, there's no way a single person could have orchestrated this. Not with the growth we've seen, not without the support that North Church has given us through. One of the things we didn't mention is that we take prayer requests every time that we go out there, and it is sent by one of our members to our prayer team at North Church, and it is prayed over consistently, not just one time and forgotten. And I love that. I love that kind of support, because they may not be feet on the ground out there, but they're feet in spiritual warfare for us. And that we need that. A lot of times when I find that somebody's unable to come for the month for whatever reason, I understand things come up, but I say, please just cover us in prayer, because when you're serving, anything can happen. I mean, it's Oklahoma. You could have snow, Oklahoma, right? Or a tornado or a twister, whatever, and we just need that kind of coverage.
Yeah.
And a big thankful shout out to the Homeless Alliance for their partnership with us. And I'm excited to see how we can move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'd love for you to follow us on social media. So here on YouTube, please like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you see when we post. We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
And so be sure to go there and like and follow us there. You'll see pictures. We keep you updated with our serving, our numbers and statistics, the stories of the people we're serving. Just stay connected with us there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for watching Hope Rising podcast. I'm so grateful that you have. And stick around. There's no telling what's going to happen in the next year. And I'm looking forward to doing this with you again next year.
And you as well.
Thank you.